But we're live. Oh, I don't know if I was live in the group. I might have to repeat myself. Don't mind me. Hello, gorgeous humans. Welcome to day 2, the art of becoming. So I'm just gonna wait a second here because I think the timing is lagging. Okay, let me just say something. When you guys are hopping on, say hello. Because I think the timing is lagging. Okay, there we go. So, hello, gorgeous humans. This is day 2, the art of becoming. I've said this 3 times, but we're gonna do it again because sometimes it shows you're live and then you're not. So, it's all good. I am so excited for day 2. And if you didn't hear me before, I'm grateful for everybody who's been sharing and tagging. After this call, me and my team will put in the event section the tuition draw that'll be happening tomorrow. I'm thinking around 10:30, 11. I will let you guys know ahead of time, and I'll do the 2 draws. Our cutoff time to enter the draw is going to be 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. So from now till then, share. Some of you will win 70% off tuition credits. Some of you will win a whole year membership in the We Go First membership with me, a whole year. And some people will even 50% off. So I pay it forward. And I'm always grateful for you guys sharing me with your network. And even if you didn't want to enter the draw, if you feel like someone needs to hear this, which I feel like a lot of people do, I'm so grateful for you to share. Hello, Hamidia. Hello, Amy. Hello, Ava. Hello, Nastasia, Angela, Jamie. So many gorgeous humans. I'm so happy you guys are here. Hello, Sherry. Guys, let's give Sherry a big shout out. It is her birthday. Happy birthday, Sherry. I love you. Sherry is one of my favorite people on the planet. She's been a lifelong client. She's been in all my work for the last 6 years, like every offer. And she's been a private client of mine as too several times and a mastermind client. And she is amazing. And I love her. So happy birthday. And today's also my daughter Rhea's birthday. She turned 7. And it's funny because Sherry and her both are 1-3 generators. And it's so funny. Like on the same day, Capricorn vibes. Like, I love you, Sherry. Happy birthday. And Rhea, when you're watching this one day in the future, mommy loves you and happy birthday. And I'm so proud of you and you're incredible and you're a joy. Generators, don't we love generators? They're just like joy. They just light up the world. So happy birthday. Thank you guys. So awesome. Happy birthday, happy birthday. We love you, Sherry. And we love you, Rhea. So, how are you guys feeling from yesterday? Any realizations and ahas? I know a lot of you messaged me, and I haven't got through all the messages, but I will. But what were your biggest breakthroughs, ahas? Like, let me know. I'm so happy to hear like that you guys are having breakthroughs. These conversations are so important. Happy birthday, happy birthday. We love you. We love you, Sherry. So you can share ahead, and I'm going to start because we have some important conversations today. And like I said, tomorrow we're going to do the draw, and I'll let you guys know about everything. So just a little recap as we dive into a big chunk of today, a big code for the art of becoming, her, him. Yesterday, we talked about the stories we tell ourselves. And the truth is, every belief that you have about yourself and about the world, it just started with one thought. And our mind is like this computer. And the software that you have is the identity. I like to look at it that way. And your software was built from hearing something, seeing something, having a thought, making a story about it. And the more we repeated those thoughts and those stories, this is actually proven by neuroscience, you create neural pathways. And so we have these beliefs that are created just from repetitive thoughts. So knowing that all beliefs are created from repetitive thoughts, we get to have new stories. We get to create new patterns. And I'll tell you what it takes to really start doing that, to start seeing massive growth in your life. But it's all just thoughts and beliefs. And all these thoughts and stories we tell ourselves, they repeatedly create who we are, our identity, what we believe about ourselves, our self-concept, what we see in the mirror, what we believe about the world. And this breeds all the results because it creates the same emotions you have, the way you react, your responses, the habits you take on. And so truly the way to shift our reality, to shift the way we're attracting the people in our life, to change the law of reflection, we got to change the stories we're telling ourselves. We have to shift our identity. The identity we believe we are, what we believe that we're capable of, is whether we take actions in alignment with what we want in our life or we don't. Hello, Candy's first timer here. Yay, I'm so happy. So many new people. And right before I opened this up, there was like 37 people coming in here. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it was amazing. Thank you. I'm like, yes. And I just shared too. I'm dropping. I had a download because I am like hyper speed creative here. I had a download for another little offer. It's little, but it's one of the most powerful codes. It's like my greatest manifestation hack. It's like the thing, and you get to keep it, and it's $33. I'm going to talk about it near the end, but I'm dropping that only in this group for people who want to jump in. But don't buy it if you're in the We Go First membership inner circle. That's included for you. And if you're in Metamorphosis, you get another bonus. This is like, welcome to my world. I am a creative genius and I get downloads. And if I decide to create offers in between, as you're in my containers, you get surprise things. And so we get to calibrate together. And that's what I love about my work is I'm constantly moving, creating, channeling, shifting, and then sharing what I'm learning with you guys at hyperspeed. And when you're plugged into my work, let's go. Yeah, Ava, you're getting this. This is going to be amazing. The name is out of this world cool, and it's actually what I wanted to call this masterclass, but then I was like, oh, people might get this the wrong way. But once you hear the name and you understand the context of what we've been talking about, it's going to make sense. So jump in on it. It's $33, going to be extraordinary. I'll talk about it soon. But let's just like get into today's content. Hello, Ashley. I'm so happy you're here. So our identity, our self-concept, it creates all the results we have. It's the people that were reflected back to us that we attract, a reflection of who we are. But the greatest thing is we know through neuroscience, we know that we can start thinking new thoughts, new stories, changing our perspective of things, and we actually start creating new neural pathways, which will kill off the old repetitive thoughts. We start being a different way. And we actually start seeing ourselves in the mirror a different way. Like it's kind of mind-boggling that this starts to happen. But the biggest work here is to first become aware of what stories you're telling yourself, like to really like, what am I telling myself when I post? What do I actually believe? What do I believe about people? What do I believe I'm capable of? And then seeing like these stories are limiting me. Like this is not the way I get to where I want to go. And like the first step is like just become conscious of it. Once it's conscious, you're gonna see it come up, and then we have the conscious power with the 5% conscious power that we have to recreate our identity by creating different thoughts. And what happens is every time you catch yourself in a limiting story, I'm not good enough, no one's gonna buy from me, this isn't gonna work, what if it fails? You just interrupt. Like literally, it's you hear yourself thinking it and you're like, interrupt it and reframe, or you just stop thinking it. Interrupt your mind, interrupt yourself mid-sentence, mid-thought, stop yourself. That's like the first thing. And then when you know what you want to start reframing to, what you want to believe in order to match you with what you want, you pick up another story. But the first step is like catch the limiting stories, the thoughts, interrupt them, and then we're going to start learning how to reframe things. Because the truth is like the first step is always like, we just got to stop limiting ourselves. We just got to stop getting in our own way. We got to stop disempowering ourselves. We got to stop destroying ourselves. We got to stop validating who we have been and making it and saying that this is who we will always be. Like you get to evolve your whole life. And so once you have the conscious awareness, it's just like interrupt mid-thought, mid-sentence, and reframe. Spin it a different way. Like, and you remind yourself, like this story I keep telling myself, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I can't, I'm too old, I'm too young, it's too late, it's too hard, all that stuff. Like, tell yourself this, like have conversations with yourself. One of my greatest work that I do with my clients is teaching them the art of leading yourself and actually coaching yourself and stopping yourself and reframing things for yourself. And if you can empower yourself, you can empower the world. And wealth is really how much impact you make in people's lives. And that's got to start with you impacting yourself, because you can't impact yourself, affect yourself. You can't impact and affect other people. So every time you hear yourself say something, think something, about to say something, interrupted mid-sentence. Hello, Megan. I'm so happy you're here. And you got to ask yourself, this story I keep telling myself, it's producing the results I have in my life. Do I want to keep repeating this? Or do I want to put it down and try something else on? And then the second step is, once you start realizing, what do I want to say, is like, instead of saying, so for instance, reframing, conscious work, reframing. When you say it's always hard for me, you reframe, but what if it gets to be easy? What if it gets to be easy for me now? When you say, I don't know how, you reframe, but my identity is I'm going to figure it out. That's actually one of my greatest identities. I'll always figure it out. Everything's figure outable. I'm going to figure it out. Like something hard happens, I'm like, I'll figure it out. So when you say, I don't know, you reframe, but I'll figure it out because my identity is I'll always figure it out. When you say I'm too old to become a coach, a speaker, an entrepreneur, hello, Rebecca, you reframe. Age has nothing to do with me fulfilling my dreams. And I'm going to go on Google and empower myself by Googling all the expanders of extraordinary people who became the greatest humans that made impact and manifested their dreams while they were in their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, because those all exist out there. You got to go and empower yourself and find the people and reframe. Expanders are such a big deal, part of our journey too, to see other people where you say you have an excuse. Oh, I have ADHD and that limits me. Does it? Because there's an extraordinary entrepreneurs out there and there's millions of people that can say, actually, it's the greatest gift on the planet and it's a gift. There's always a way to reframe it. When we look at like, this is limiting me, then that's why it limits you. But even the things that maybe society says that's like your downfall is not true at all. When you say, by the time I'm 60, I can't do anything now because you lose your magnetism when you're 60 and you go through menopause. But that's not true because I'll find you 67-year-olds who are like, I am living the best life of my life and I'm more magnetic than ever and I'm doing the things. It's like you're either constantly creating yourself, empowering yourself, and living this life to its fullest, or you limit yourself and you tell yourself stories and then your body reacts to it and then you don't feel good. And then that's why you have the results that you have. Victoria says, yes, a lot of it can be letting go of people too. Reframing it. The masterclass is really activating so much awareness. First, then we make the changes, then we must make. Yes. And I'm going to give you guys really tangible things today. And one of them is about really plugging into people who empower you, who influence you, who are expanding you, that every time you have an excuse, oh, I'm a single mom, I have 4 kids, and I'm this energy type, go find another. I'll show you women who are doing it with the exact same excuses. Every excuse we have, the thing is, there are people out there doing it, being it, having it, because they're like, this doesn't limit me. Limits are an illusion of the mind. And as long as I'm constantly plugging into people doing extraordinary things and showing me what's possible, if she can do it, I can do it. And so be it. And thy will be done. Amen. That's how we're going to do this. I'm going to talk about reprogramming and being in people that activate you. Like, I will tell you this too. Like, if you find that I activate you, I make you feel different about yourself, I make you think differently, stay connected to my work. Plug into me every day. Instead of Netflix, plug into me. Like, your life will change. If you're in my containers, like, and I'm activating you on a daily basis and I'm making you think new thoughts, life will change at hyperspeed. But we also have to do the conscious work to put ourselves in those containers. And that's a big part. You are my expander. I love you. I love you, Betty. Happy birthday, Sherry. So everything you say that you can't do, like, reframe, but I'm going to learn. I am on my journey of becoming. I like when you say, no one in my family has ever made this amount of money. No one ever in my family has ever done this. You're going to say, but I'm going to be the first one. I'm going to be the one that breaks generational paradigms in my family. Yeah, I'm the one. When you say, I just don't speak English well and I don't have good speaking skills, I can't be an online coach. I can't sell. I can't be an entrepreneur. I can't be a healer. You reframe, but I will practice because everything is about practice until you do it. Just like when you were little, learning to ride a bike, learning to walk, practice. Everyone that you see being applauded on stage, practice hours behind the scenes. So I don't speak I don't speak well now, but I am on the journey of becoming an extraordinary speaker. I'm going to practice my skills. I'm going to go live. I'm going to learn to speak because everything gets better with practice. That's like the identity we have to always have is I'm learning, I'm building, I'm on the journey of building a 7-figure business. I'm on the journey. It's harder to like get your mind behind, I am a 7-figure earner. But when you say I'm building a brand, I'm on the journey of creating, of building, of becoming a 7-figure brand. Yeah, because that's the truth. And then you're going to start acting in alignment with that. When you say, all the women in my family, none of them have ever been able to keep a partner. And so far, based on my past history, I'm going to be alone. I just can't find the one. You reframe that and you say, I'm on the journey of meeting my soulmate. I'm on the journey of meeting him, her. When you say I'll always be fat, everybody in my family's fat, everyone told me I was fat, this has been my journey, my life so far, you reframe and say, I'm on the journey of becoming the sexiest, fittest, healthiest version of myself. I am on the journey. I am in the creation of, I am in the becoming of. You got to start reframing in your conscious, because we got a 5% window, and it's really important you do this. When you catch yourself, you interrupt it and you reframe. If you don't know where you're going, you say, I'm on the journey to figure it out. Because most of the time when you were little and people asked you what the heck you wanted to be, you were changing your mind and you're like, I don't know. And did we really know what we wanted to be when we were asked when we were in high school? God, no. Like, it's like we don't know, but we follow what lights us up. You know, if you're in human design, you follow your authority and you go try things out. Do I like this? Do I like this? Nope. Let's go again and shift identities. It's the greatest thing about Metamorphosis next week, is you're going to learn the foundations that I get to shift identities my whole life, and I get to be a person that has a million trillion skills, and I get paid for everything and anything, and then you're going to learn really in that program the art of leading yourself, because everything we're going to talk about today is going to come down to you to actually do it, to actually lead yourself. It's one thing to listen to this stuff and say it once, but it's another thing to plug into it every day and do the actual work. And so self-leadership is really important. Hello, Daria, Lindsay. Yes. Hello, gorgeous. Yeah, she's amazing. Oh, thank you guys. You'll be taking your offers like membership. Will you be taking off your offers like the memberships like state? Sorry, I don't even mean I'm jumping the gun. I'll talk about offers after, all the things. Like Metamorphosis is not part of We Go First membership. This is a mastermind program, but it is part of Inner Circle. Inner Circle is like everything I create. We Go First is a $111 once a month payment. You pay as you go. And there are offers in there that I create once a month, and then you immediately get access to like thousands of dollars worth of programs, courses, like the prosperity laws we just did, self-empowered course, overflow. But you can also buy things separately. But you also get discounts when you're on my membership. But I'll talk about this after. I want to like stay on this with you guys. So we got to interrupt when we hear ourselves, and we got to reframe. I'm in the building of like the greatest thing, instead of being like, I am amazing and I am sexy and I'm a millionaire. You know, your mind's not going to get around that, especially when faced in front of you is a reality that you don't like or results you don't like. But reframing that I am in the building of, I am in the becoming of, I am in the creation of, I am building a 7-figure business. I'm in the becoming of an extraordinary mentor. I am in the creation. I am on the journey of finding my love, like ... That is tapping you into possibility. That is reframing your identity. And eventually, the more you consciously reframe, I'm on the becoming, I'm on the journey, you start to become it. And it just starts to be like, I am one of the greatest minds of my time. I am an extraordinary mentor. My voice matters. I'm an activator. I am sexy. I am becoming, like it just becomes the I am. But we got to start with the I am becoming. I am on the window. I am on the building. So I was going to say 5% sharing this masterclass all over. Oh, I'm so happy. I am becoming the woman who's shifting my family legacy. Yes, Sherry. Me too. I've broken so many generational paradigms in my family. It's cool. And now I'm like, I guess bigger dreams. It's crazy what happens once you start achieving things. It's like bigger dreams, bigger mission. Let's go. So we have 5% of our conscious mind to rewire our thinking so that we can start shifting our identity. It is so pivotal that you catch and interrupt mid-sentence. Like you cannot say it anymore. You got to stop validating the very thing you don't want. If you keep validating how it's been hard, you will keep attracting that. You got to stop calling people and telling them it is hard. Like stop telling the sad stories. It's like, I'm on a journey. Even though this thing showed up, I'm okay. I'm on the journey. Interrupt yourself and you reframe and you self-empower yourself. Self-empower yourself. Because if you don't and you notice yourself saying it and you don't do anything to interrupt it, to self-empower yourself, then you know you're also choosing to validate the identity that's continue to create the results you have in your life. And that's a choice, right? But here is the thing, and I'm going to talk to you guys about energetics. Masculine and feminine. I have like the most amazing riff that came through to me the other day. I want to share with you guys. Here's the thing. In order to change our reality, our identity, we need a mix of masculine and feminine energetics. And we need a lot of masculine in the beginning because the discipline needs to happen in the masculine to create a new identity. You do something enough times, it becomes who you are. It becomes the feminine. And it's been proven by neuroscience that we have the power to reshape our brain, the way we think, the way we walk, the way we do things, everything. It's backed by neuroscience. And I will tell you, if at least 51% of the time you are thinking different things, new stories, you're changing your subconscious beliefs. If at least 51% of the time that you're conscious and aware and you catch yourself, you're shifting things, you're shifting your identity. So, for example, if I told myself my whole life, I'm not good enough, and I've been saying this since I was a little kid, I subconsciously think I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'll never be good enough, I don't matter, nobody cares. I subconsciously think this and say this and constantly look for evidence of this since I was little. If I wanted to change that belief, those stories, what matters is I need to use my masculine energy to start reframing and saying, I am on the journey of becoming extraordinary. I am amazing. I am worthy. I was born this way. Nothing has changed. I am a child of God. I'm made of everything that everything is made of in this universe. The universal laws that apply to the world apply to me. I am capable of having what I want. I have been working at this. I have been crafting my skills. I have been practicing my faith. I believe in myself every single day. I believe in myself. I am plugging into places and people that influence me to think higher vibrational thoughts. I plug in. I work on my skills. I'm doing the work. I'm doing the best. I am creating devotions in the morning to God, universe. I'm changing. I'm amazing. I'm worthy. I got this. I believe in me. If you start saying this to yourself, 51% of the time, you are consciously resculpting your subconscious mind. You're rewiring your brain. You're rewiring your brain at least 51%. Love that. If you do this, at least 51%, you are burning into your subconscious new stories, new beliefs. You're shifting your identity, the way you view things, the way you respond to things. I am becoming a new version. And like the thing is, when you start shifting the way that you speak to yourself, your reflection in the mirror starts to change. And then because your reflection is changing, the people you attract in your life is shifting. Your energetic match in the world is shifting. If at least 51% of the time that you consciously reframe, reprogram, self-empower, you move yourself into self-empowerment instead of self-deprecation, you will shift your identity. Masculine energy is so important. But I will tell you something. Even in the masculine, the feminine is important. I actually believe feminine energetics is the most important of all the energetics. Because in order for us to be an identity of who we are in the feminine, we have to do the masculine energy reprogramming with new stories, but we also have to believe that as we do that, we are changing. The masculine energy is the doing energy. It is important because the things we do, we become. When you do something enough in masculine energy, it becomes who you are. It becomes the feminine. But before we become a new identity, who we are in the feminine, there has to be that conscious action in the masculine on a daily basis. I have to think, I have to write, I have to speak, I have to say, imagine, listen to new thoughts that empower me, stories that align with who I want to become. One of the most powerful things that changed my mind the fastest, and you might think this is a lot, but this is what I believe it requires. And if you want to hyper speed your transformation, is listening to multiple hours of self-development a day. When I think back at my story, the first intuition I had when I was at my lowest, where I didn't even recognize myself in the mirror, I was lost, depressed, anxious, like all the things. The first intuition I had when I was at my lowest, like full-blown identity crisis, I had the intuition that told me just go listen to motivational YouTube videos on YouTube. Like that's motivational speeches. And I just Googled motivational speeches and it's all I listened to, random motivational speakers. Then I started watching TED Talks and then I really listened to a lot of things by Tony Robbins and then Abraham Hicks. And in between breastfeeding and living my life as I drove places, doing dishes, laundry, listening to podcasts, audibles, coaching programs I started investing in. I would read before bed. I listened and consumed self-development multiple times a day, like empowering things that empowered me to view myself differently and to view the world differently. I listened and consumed multiple hours a day. When I drove my kids, I listened. When I was at a play group, my kids were playing with other kids. I plugged in a headpiece and I would listen, doing dishes, laundry, going for dog walks. Even during my workouts, instead of listening to music, I would listen to things that empowered me, that made me think things. And guess what? It was all burning in my subconscious, all of it. Because a lot of times when you drive, for instance, and sometimes even during workouts, you go very unconscious. This is why it's like you go to work and then you're like, I got to work and I have no idea how I got here. I don't remember a single thing because you were in your subconscious. Imagine that you were listening while you were in this theta, unconscious state, me in your ears being like, anything's possible, magic and miracles happen, and I empower you and I make you think differently. It's going in, it's resculpting your brain. Hi, I have past programs from you and a few other mentors on YouTube playlists. I listen to them at work, clean, drive, walk, which what I'm about to do. See? Reframe. At least, even now, because I know this is what got me here, even now, but just think about this. I'm talking to you guys, teaching things that I'm constantly resculpting my brain about again. I'm doing this live. I'm taking my own programs with you. I'm in other programs. Like, I listen till this day, even on vacations, because I will find hermit time and I will plug into something. I will listen to one program of a coach. I'm also into masterminds. I will listen to those coaching calls at least once a day. I read a little bit before bed. It's the thing when I try to get off my phone. I listen to Audible while I drive, and I'm doing coaching calls. So what do you think I'm talking about? These same conversations I'm having with you. And it's reshaping my subconscious on a daily basis. I'm constantly having higher vibrational thoughts. My life is constantly a miracle and a synchronicity. It's like I love my life. It's amazing. But most of my day is now spent contemplating, thinking, learning, speaking. I don't worship celebrities. I don't Netflix and chill every night. I don't gossip. I don't like care about what's on the news. Like I am doing God's work. I'm speaking, writing emails, writing posts. I'm contemplating. I'm in introspection work all the time. And you might tell me, that's a lot, Alina. But what's the alternative, guys? What is it costing you to live the opposite right now, where you're constantly saying the same thing, thinking the same thing that you don't even aware of, gossiping, watching the news, like listening to negative media that's like brainwashing you? What's it costing you to think, I'm not good enough, I suck, no one will buy from me, no one cares, I'm too old? What is that costing you? I think the alternative is this is better. And here's the thing, I don't really believe that you have to do it forever this long, but I just believe it just becomes who you are. It's like if you're already a person who's constantly thinking higher vibrational thoughts, you're in your life, you're just going to want to plug into that because it's who you are. I love listening to self-development content while working out. Me too. Yes, this is exactly what I do too. See? It's like we don't always, it's like when we're unconscious, it's going in. This is why the power of hypnosis is actually really powerful too. Trust me, the opposite, the alternative is wherever you are now that you don't like about something, that's the alternative. What's it costing you? I think this is a better place to be. And I'm going to tell you something, even about my work. If you were in my membership and you did programs with me all year, do you realize how many skills you would learn? Do you realize how valuable you would be in any marketplace? Not only is your life going to change, your relationships will change, I can guarantee that. But now I have marketing skills, social media skills, marketing skills. I learned how to write. I learned how to tell stories through Alina. I learned how to reprogram. I learned how to be a coach. I have programs on everything. If you're plugged into something, we're calibrating. And then all of a sudden you're like, I could literally be one of the greatest mentors of my time. Like, it's like all these skills are transferable. Everything that I'm talking about is just going to build, and you get to have a life. I have it all, and it's amazing. And we get to show the world like this is possible. Trust me, this work is worth the hours. You do something enough, you think something enough, it becomes who you are. A lot. I'm very aligned with you. It's constantly doing something about everywhere I go. Yeah. And you're crafting your skills. And guys, we are more enamored, is that the word? Like we're more passionate, excited about our evolution than we are the milestones. The milestones are cool. Yeah. 50K month. Yeah. Like $1 million a year. Yeah. Like I did this thing, but it's like when you're learning skills, I speak in a way I never spoke before. I can go live. I'm brave. I know how to market. I know how to use social media. I know how to communicate. I know how to tell storytelling. Like, gosh, like anything can open for you. And I said this in the Quantum Leap Masterclass, which guys, go do the Quantum Leap Masterclass at the back end of this, and then go do the Story Masterclass that I did a few months ago. It is like jam-packed with more codes on identity shifting. But like, guys, the more you learn skills and new ways of thinking, I said, like, if you want to always be paid and money comes to you always in all the ways, become one of the most valuable people in any marketplace. You're a coach and you can lead and you can guide and you can do social media and you can market and you can sell and you can speak and you can mentor people and you know how to manifest. Hello. Anyone, you will be paid for anything and you will be an asset in any company. This is why this work is so extraordinary. And it builds your confidence to know I can be paid anything in any market because I have these skills. And very few people know how to lead people or emotional intelligence, but you will. It's like, it's incredible what happens. And it's incredible what happens to your life by just living by this work. This work is worth the hours. It will become who you are. That's why I have 2 different memberships for people who are like, I'm not ready to commit for a year. I just want to like do something for $111, but you're going to binge like literally $12,000 worth of programs. But every month I'm going to do something live with Athena. Athena, this my daughter's name. I'm going to do something live with Alina once a month. I'm going to be plugged into her. I'm going to be listening to what did she just channel, download, what breakthrough did she have. Then I have things to work on. But every day, if you're in my membership, whether it's We Go First or Inner Circle, you plug into something. You can listen to something. I want to listen to something about emotional intelligence. Go listen to EQ. Go listen to Goddess Code. I want to plug into how to sell, like human design. Like it's all going to be in there. And it's just like, but you got to go and put yourself in that because this is the thing. The masculine is also the discipline to find people who influence you in the direction that you want to go in. Right? We need to, like, if you have conversations with me multiple hours a day, do you realize how much your life would shift? You would think differently. We're having empowering conversations and making you think differently, to feel differently about yourself. Replace me with Netflix, and you will see how much your life starts to shift, and the way that you view the world will completely change. Every conversation you have with someone who activates you to think a different way is reshaping your subconscious mind. When you constantly go into self-empowerment on the daily basis instead of your old self-deprecating self-talk, like, you know, this is going to change your life. And when you're in my programs, masterminds, box of coaching, we're talking about things in real time. This is my like gift too, is when you talk, I respond, I can pick out. The 6'2" in me has a very big vision and I can pick out your limiting beliefs. And when you're in masterminds and programs in real time, we get to like untangle things for you and get you right into self-empowerment. It's like self-empower yourself every day. And I move fast because I'm learning, I'm integrating. This is why I said part of your identity is also to check in. For those of you who do self-development, how do you learn though? Like, there's nothing wrong when you're just like, I'm just plugging it in because it is going in subconscious. But when you're ready to like focus on something, I really want to learn social media skills. So I take the social media program with Alina and I'm like, I'm listening, but then I'm going and applying it right away. Like, I want you to listen to things, but then actually contemplate them and go and try them out. Because it's like, if we're just watching also self-development, like Netflix, that's not going to work. You want to listen, but then integrate and move. Yes, my life has shifted so much being in your world. I'm so happy. Feeling truly beautiful inside. Darius says, I fell in love with how your voice excites and naturally riffs self-empowerment. I can see I started to pick this up. Ah, yes, what if? You know, it's so funny for those of you in human design. So I have a defined throat as a Manny Gen, and my gate, only defined gate that I have in there is the gate of enthusiasm. And it connects right to my spleen, which is the gate of 48, which is the well of wisdom. And as a 6'2", it's like I'm a wise sage. But the way that I communicate, so I like human design. I'm going to start bringing some master classes coming in human design that I'm excited for. But like, so the way that I communicate wisdom to people is exactly what you guys say. It's exciting. I'm enthusiastic. It's the gate of enthusiasm. So I get people fired up all the time. Like, it's just like, oh my God, I just learned this thing. I have this wisdom. And it's like, I go and share it. And then it activates you. We have different gifts as well. So I move fast. I integrate. I learn. I also invest a lot of money. I've been investing for 6 years straight, the best of the best in my industry, like the best. And I'm in close proximity with the best of the best. So that make me think differently, that help me have breakthroughs. I'm calibrating up, testing things, and I bring it right to you guys. Oh my God, I learned this thing. I tried it out. It worked. I'm sharing it with you guys. Like, I am constantly moving, and you get to calibrate with that. You got to find people. If you don't have the resources to jump in anything, like, like plug into my YouTube channel every day. Go into the guide section of this group. There's so many master classes that are amazing, but plug into free stuff. I started with free stuff. That's the thing. We can't say that we don't have resources. We have so many resources. Like you can plug into something every day. But then again, this is the masculine discipline. I purposely, consciously put myself in containers where people influence me. I am reshaping the way my mind thinks. And so anytime that we want to change a belief, an identity, we have to consciously discipline ourselves in that topic, and I believe like listening to all kinds of things and crafting our skills, but there's also like, if you're thinking about what's my next move, it's like, what do I really want to work on? What area? Let's say it's like, I want to work on wealth creation. If I want to do that, I'd be listening and investing in wealth programs. I'd be reading books about it. I'd be constantly plugged into that context. So I'm thinking and applying things, and that area starts to shift. Love the human design program, especially the human design reading with Alina. I learned so much about myself and why I'm the way I am and how to connect with my authority. Yes. So I have a human design program, and I'm going to be actually, for those of you, anyone that buys that program, it's lifetime access. I'm going to be doing a whole new round, new content in there, but I also have human design readings, purpose readings. Like you just always reach out when you're ready to do some deep work with me. But this is the thing, we have to like immerse ourselves in the thing that we want to shift. I don't believe you're going to change everything, but I do believe if we self-empower ourselves to think high vibrational thoughts, and then we pick one area we really want to focus on, and you're thinking about it and you're reading about it, it's reshaping your subconscious mind. The things we do in the masculine become who we are in the feminine. But here is the thing. Both energetics are so important, but I just had this crazy breakthrough about how, and when it comes to energetics, feminine energy is the most important. It's actually needed in the masculine. And so I'm going to explain this to you. If you have ever heard, so if you've never heard and you're brand new to even hearing the concept of feminine, masculine energetics, I'm not speaking about men versus women. Both genders have masculine and feminine energy. There's also a law of gender where we have to harmonize and balance both masculine and feminine. So when I'm speaking about energetics, the masculine energy is the doing energy. It's like I get shit done. And the receiving and allowing energy is the feminine. It's the like, I do what I got to do, and then I lean back and I allow and I receive and I trust. And this is the faith. In the energetics, though, I do believe the feminine energy matters most because it's actually needed in the masculine things we do in order for us to really shift things fast. Because the feminine is the, I believe, I trust, I have faith, God supports me. And as I do the masculine energy things, the context is the feminine. I believe as I do this thing, it is changing me. Discipline to me is faith and trust in action. And so let me deepen this with you because this is a huge piece in the art of becoming. And this is a big piece in how we really shift things really fast. So if you have heard me in my teachings, and if you've heard this, a lot of people say this, it's like, it's not about what you do. It's about who you are when you do it. It's the who you are, the feminine that I believe, that I trust, that makes all the difference in how the masculine, whether it produces results for you or it doesn't. Because you can do things right, but if the feminine is, I don't believe this is working, it's not going to work. So in the masculine, as we take action, your feminine energy has to be, I believe, I trust, and I allow. Feminine energetics is the allowing of something to happen because you have the faith and the belief that it can. Masculine energy is the making of something happen because you believe it can't unless you do something. You see the difference? So for example, I am selling my identity work mastermind program, Metamorphosis, right now. And in the masculine, I create an offer, but in the feminine, as I create the offer, I trust people will buy it. I trust this is going to be extraordinary. In the masculine, as I launch it, I tap into the feminine of, I have faith people will buy this. I trust God, universe is going to send me the people that are meant for my work. So when I go to sell it in the masculine, I speak with, This is the who you are is important and what you do part. But when I go to sell it, I speak with certainty, conviction. It is right now at $888, and it is extraordinary. And I say that with faith and trust that people are coming, and they will come. And I allow the people, and then this is like I do the masculine with the feminine, believing it's working. And then I lean back and I allow in the feminine the people who want to buy it lean in and buy. I do and I allow. But I would never just go full masculine, being like, I don't really know if people will buy this. I don't trust, so I'm going to push them. I would never just in the masculine push people to make them buy something. I'm not into convincing, persuading, explaining, chasing, cold DMing. I'm not going to try to explain why they need it. I will not push or make anyone to buy anything. I don't operate in full masculine. I always have feminine energetics involved. I trust, I allow, I have an identity that I've built also in trust and faith. Victoria says, yes, I'm getting older. I feel more excited about these skills you mentioned and in the journey, not just the destination or milestone. What are these master classes? So if you're just going to do free things with me, go in the guide section of this group. There's extraordinary things on everything. Influence, social media, on my YouTube channel, there's a bunch of them too. If you were going to start smaller where you don't want to fully commit, the We Go First membership is the place to be. And in the We Go First membership, the second you enter, it's $111 USD. You get in there, there's a guide section, and it's got human design courses. It has feminine magnetism courses. It has money code. It has the body code. It has already programs in there, prosperity laws. And what happens is every month that you're in there, I'm also coming in with like a short course, a transmission, or a full out program. Like I just did prosperity laws that I did it that went into January from December. You get to have lifetime access to that. And then if you want to pause and go, you leave. It's $111 plus you get to accumulate those credits to use to a program. Then I have live programs that I do. So Metamorphosis, Goddess Code. These are bigger programs. They're longer. They usually last a month. Metamorphosis will probably 7-8 weeks. But when you're in a program, you'll also get like a pre-program. That is usually something I do when we go first. And then in the inner circle, you get everything. So all the programs, all the courses, but you can buy programs separately. You can buy courses separately, or you can be in a membership where you're getting codes, or you calibrate to inner circle. It's $377 a month, $4,444 a year. And you're just getting everything with me for a year, except like private coaching. It's the best. My jaw dropped. I'm in love with Collapsing Time. Yeah, Collapsing Time is a cool course. So every month I'm a Manny Jen, and this means I'm a multi-passionate human, but my brand stands for the woman who has it all. So every month, if I'm in a context of selling, you're going to get a selling thing in both my membership. If I'm in the context of feminine energy, I'll create something about that. I'm in the context right now of identity work. So in the We Go First membership, I'm surprising them with another program because they just finished prosperity laws. This is something I'm going to talk about near the end. And then those of you in We Go First, if you ever want to upgrade into a program like Metamorphosis, you can use your credits and you also get discounts once you're in my memberships. But I can definitely talk about different things after. It's also on my link tree, my landing page, but you can ask me questions and DM me. I love you. Okay, so let me get into this. This is really important. We're getting off track here. So let's do a little recap here with the feminine and masculine. Feminine energetics is the allowing of something to happen because you have faith and belief that it can. Masculine energetics is the making something happen because you don't believe that it can happen unless you actually do something. So when I launch and do things, I always still have the context of the feminine, because the feminine is like, as I do this masculine thing, I'm in the context of I have faith and trust that it will work. God provides. I do and I allow. I never just go full masculine. I never push to make something happen. I always trust that I'm co-creating. And this feminine energy is so important because it is the identity of faith, we believe, and I just allow things to happen. I don't need to make them. I allow them. If we don't have faith and trust in what we're doing in the masculine, so if you don't actually believe as you reframe, as you reprogram, as you launch things that the thing you're doing isn't working, you could do the right thing and it still won't work because your feminine is, I don't believe and I don't trust and I don't allow. And when we operate in a life that's all masculine, it's the understanding that I'm on my own. No one supports me. I have to do everything on my own. I need a lot of strategy. I need a lot of hustle, a lot of push, a lot of convincing, a lot of chasing. Yes, there's monthly payments. And you can do in full or you can pay monthly. Why I believe discipline has to have feminine, you have to have the identity of faith and trust and belief in the outcome, because that's the only way that you do something and it actually works. Like I said, it's not about what you do or what you say. It's who you are when you say it. It's who you are when you do it. It's like the identity has to be, as I say this, I believe the people are coming. I believe it is working. As I do this masculine thing, I also believe and trust and allow that it's going to happen. I believe this is working. I believe this is changing me. I believe as I take action, it is changing me. This is the identity that is so important in also your masculine. Anything you do, but you don't believe in yourself, you don't believe it's actually going to work. And again, if you're completely always living in the masculine, you got to do everything yourself. God's not in the room. You don't believe you're supported. You think you're the only freak of nature that has to always push to get everything on your own. And this identity is also a resistance identity. It's like the identity of I'm going to keep myself stuck forever. It's the identity of I have to do and make everything happen by myself because I don't believe that I can be supported. Any action that we take in the discipline without the feminine energy of I trust and I have faith that this is working, it's changing me. If we don't have that, it's why sometimes you're like, I'm doing all the strategies, I'm doing all the things, and it's not working. It's because it's like as you do, you don't even believe, you don't have faith, you don't allow. We need feminine. We need an identity of like, I have faith and trust. I allow, I receive support. I allow God to come in. I believe this is working. That identity coupled with your masculine doing energy is what makes magic happen, miracles happen. It's not what you do. It's who you are being when you do the thing. It's who you are being when you take the masculine action. If we take action, like let's say I want to become fit. And as I take action to work out my body, but as I do it, I'm in the identity of I don't believe it's not going to work. It's always hard for me. It's like the way you work out is not the same. And your body's not going to change because everything responds to what you believe in. Your beliefs are so important. They're so tied to your identity. All transformation requires an identity of faith and trust and believing in the outcome. If you sell on a live stream in the identity of I don't believe, I don't trust, people won't get it, they're going to get confused, they're not going to make a sale. There's no way. And again, this is that frequency of truth thing. The strongest frequency is the frequency of truth. This is why sometimes when people are selling and you're like, their branding's amazing, what they're saying is amazing, their content's amazing, but like, there's a weird feeling. I don't want to buy from them. Why? Because deep down, you feel what they feel. And what they feel is, I don't believe in myself. I have doubt. I have worry. I'm walking in fear. If you're not feeling, this is amazing, this is incredible, it's going to change people, I believe in my work, I'm proof of concept, your audience is also not going to feel it. You got to believe it. And plus, the universe is also listening to your energy. It's like responding to your energy, not what you're saying. It's like, you don't believe. You don't want me to come in and support you. So I'm just going to watch. Question about feminine masculine. If the feminine is identity of trust, then would masculine be no trust and no belief? I'm confused about what this is because it seems like masculine is a negative trait. But wouldn't masculine energy be positive? Of course, masculine's so important. It's the doing energy. It's the discipline. It's the like, I actually consciously reframe. But why the feminine is more important? Because as you reframe and as you do something, the feminine has to be, I believe and trust and I allow that this is going to work. The masculine is so important. You have to take action. You can't just sit around and allowing all day long. Like, you can't just be sitting on an idea. You got to actually create. For those of you who did the prosperity laws program, we talked about the difference between the law of attraction and what is the law of creation. Law of attraction is very feminine. It's very much, I imagine. I am feeling the energies of what I want to create. I am vision casting. But in order to create, we need the law of action. And the creation starts to happen is like you have this idea and you take it out of the quantum field of possibility. And as you take action, you start to create it. You're co-creating. So we need both. If you just sit in feminine all day long, you're not going to get results. but you can manifest with just feminine. That's why feminine's so cool, because you can tap into something happening and then it just happens and you didn't do anything about it. But a lot of things we're building, guys, businesses, our body, we have to do masculine things. There has to be actions. You can't just have people buying things if you haven't created an offer, if you haven't created branding, if you haven't spoken about it. But the containers, the feminine is so important, because if you're taking action without the trust and the belief and the support and the faith and the belief that it's working, that's why people can go to the gym day and out and they don't change their bodies, because the identity is like, it's not changing me anyways, it's hard. And that's what the stories they keep telling themselves. We need both. But the masculine works at hyperspeed when the feminine is like, oh my gosh, like I believe, I trust, I allow. And it's all about frequency too. It's like, if you're not feeling it, they're not feeling it. Feminine energy is, I have full trust, faith in the outcome. I believe in myself. I believe God will provide. I trust in people's power. I believe, it seems like masculine energy is being no trust energy, which makes me feel icky negative, but it's not. It's like just action taking. It's taking action. But there are masculine things that you do that don't really have feminine, like let's, for instance, Megan, like you turning on your TV. Like that really didn't take, you didn't really have to think about believing it's going to work. You just know it's going to work and you just turn on the TV. You stand up, you stand up. But again, like really, back of your subconscious mind is like, I believe I'm going to stand up because I stood up yesterday. But we need masculine, we need feminine. You got to do things. You have to have plans. You have to take the law of action. But if you do things in the identity of, I don't believe this is working, then it's not going to work. And so one of my favorite identities that I've ever worked on is really building an identity that moves with faith and intuition and trust. When you do your reprogramming, you got to believe you're changing. This is what's required. It's like, here's the thing. I never had an issue with the masculine at all. Masculine, being disciplined, giving my word. I am no matter what. Like I give my word, I honor it. My word is law. Always. I never had an issue with hustling. I hustled my whole like teenage youth like time, because no, it's not negative. There is no negative, Megan. They're both positive. If you just think about this, if you're just sitting in feminine and allowing, you're not going to get results. You have to create offers. You have to work out. You have to move your body. You need both. But why I believe feminine energetics is most important is because it's who you're being as you take the action that really creates the results. My dog's like sneezing or something. I don't know if you guys can hear that. So I used to be a hustler until I started burning out and being really frustrated. And, again, shooting is not good for me as a man-gen. But what changed my life forever, the greatest hack in feminine energetics, was bringing the support of God back into my life and healing my relationship with God and asking him to come back in and support me. Adding more feminine energetics of faith and trust, God's got my back, changed everything. I really just allowed things to happen in divine timing, because I'm like, God, trust, God provides. I do what I got to do. I trust. I do it in the correct, squeaky clean energy. I do my best and I lean back and I allow God to provide for me. And everything started changing in hyperspeed in my life. My most favorite identity that I've ever created is like, I move with faith, intuition, sacral hit, rather than I got to push to make things. I got to hustle or doing things out of fear. And I've never been happier, and I work less in my life and I make more than I've ever have in my life. Why? Because when we add feminine energetics into our life, the allowing, the receiving, the trust, and most importantly, like, we are made in the image of God and God got our back, and it's in the Bible that God supports us. And when we give thanks and we say thy will be done, it will be that done. Adding God, universe to come in is how miracles happen for us. And this is why we're no longer fake it till you make it. We're going to faith it until we become it. That is the vibe. Faith it till we become it. So one of the identities needing to shift into wherever it is that you're going, because I don't know what identity you want to build on. Maybe you're going to be in your entrepreneur era, your sexy vixen era, you're going into finding your dream partner era. This is the thing, is we get to work on different pieces and build on different identities. But the most important identity you have to have is like, I'll figure it out. I trust God's got my back. I believe that we are given desires for no reason but to make them manifest. I believe God got my back. I believe she can do it. I can do it. I trust. I'm supported. I trust. I take action. I change my narrative. I reprogram my mind. And as I do it, I'm upgrading my software in my mind. I'm changing. I'm becoming. We don't have to fake it, but we have to definitely faith it till we become it by taking action, doing our best, and trusting God will provide. So be it, thy will be done. When someone tells me, anytime someone tells me, I've done everything, and they say it doesn't work, it's like, yeah, because you're just doing the doing. And with the identity of, as I do this, I don't believe it's working. There has to be faith. There has to be allowing. Why feminine energetics are so important is because you have to have faith in what you're doing, that it is changing you, that the outcome will be like, it's happening. You have to have allowing. Like, feminine energetics is allowing for something to happen because you believe and have faith that it can. People, here's the difference too. People who have amazing fit bodies allow and have faith that their body will change. And they will tell you things like, you just got to do it. You just got to do it. They just say that because they're just allowing it. The belief is, as I do this, I'm allowing my body to change. It's like, this is like the truth of my soul. Their feminine masculine is balance. It's like they allow the result to occur. They believe and have faith in the outcome that their body is going to be fit. And then they tell you to just do it. And the people who struggle try to make their bodies change. They try to push their bodies to change, versus people who have fit amazing bodies allow it to change. While people who struggle make it. They try to make their body change. They try to force it. They push it because they don't know how to trust and just allow it to change in divine timing. Those who allow and trust in feminine energetics manifest so much with ease. Some people allow love to come into their life because they're like, I believe I will meet my soulmate. I believe every day I walk out of my house, I have the possibility of meeting my soulmate. Those people allow love to come into their life. And then there's other people who try to make someone love them, and they try to make themselves love someone. Do you see the difference of the feminine masculine energetics here? There's either, I do what I got to do and I believe it's working and I just allow it to happen in divine timing, versus I force and I make things happen. When we have an identity and faith, we allow things to come instead of having to do everything ourselves to make it happen. And the only way we allow is when we fully believe it will happen, because we trust, because we did our best, because we're moving in alignment with faith and trusting our intuition and not fear, and you trust divine timing. And that's the thing with allowing for you to become the energetic match, is to trust the timing of your becoming. You can't get stuck ever. When and how, that's not up to you. God, universe doesn't work on a human watch. It works on energetic alignment. You got to take the first step. You got to do the reprogramming. You got to use your mind to create the beautiful things you want in your life. You got to take aligned action so that you can take the imagination from the possibility field and start creating it in your reality. And then you got to allow the universe to respond, allow the people to come, to unfold, because you trust it will. It's like you can do all the right actions in the masculine. It's like, here's an example. You want to cook a cake. So you do the masculine energy tasks. Again, Megan, you're cooking a cake. You're going to do the masculine energy things to put all the ingredients together and mix it up. And now you need to bake it. But if you don't allow it time to bake, you don't lean back and trust and allow the cake to bake, but you need it to happen now, then you're only going to have batter. It's like, it's not like I do all the masculine energy things to put the cake together and the ingredients and boom, it's ready and I just eat it. You take the action steps and now you lean back and allow for it to cook. There is no make it cook. There is, I have to allow for it to cook. You see the difference? You got to allow things to happen in divine timing. But if you're pushing and forcing, it's because anybody who forces and pushes is because you don't actually believe it's going to work and you don't believe God's got your back and the universe is supporting you. So you're going to make it happen. You're going to force it to happen. And that's how we live a life constantly in the toxic masculine. And I think this is where Megan is like thinking it's bad. It's only bad when all you do is hustle because you don't believe that God can support you. But we have to do things. We have to take aligned action. There are things in the feminine you just manifest. You create experience in your body and it's like, boom, there it is, a free coffee. You just imagined it and it showed up. But there's other things you have to do. You want to build a social media. You want to make money in your business. You got to do doing things. You got to create offers. But the context has to be the identity of, as I build this thing, the people are coming. I trust and I allow the divine timing of people to come in. We don't have a good relationship with allowing things on divine timing. We want to make everything happen now. We want to post 3 times and then people should buy. We want to talk about one offer and we think people should buy. We want to go on one date and meet our soulmate. We want to do one day of reprogramming our subconscious mind and saying, I am amazing, and think that our whole life is going to change. It's like, you got to do some doing with the believing that it's happening and allowing for it to happen in divine timing. Timing is everything, especially in nature. And most of the things we're manifesting, we talked about this yesterday, are people. Money is attached to someone. It's a currency attached to people. You're manifesting relationships. You cannot control the timing of nature, of people. They have their own divine timing. Your only job is, what do I want? I imagine and I prepare for it in my mind and my body, what it would feel like. I get an aligned action and intuition to do something. I do it. And as I do it, I'm in the identity of, I have faith and trust it's happening. I lean back and allow and watch the universe respond. It's like we're playing chess with the universe. You go first, then the universe responds to something, and then universe, but the leaning back is that allowing. It's like you don't ask for $1 million without allowing time to build you into who you need to become. That's an energetic match to receive millions of dollars, the impact, the influence. Everybody in the world is telling people to do the masculine energy strategy things. It's like, do step 1 to 10. Look successful, act as if, fake it till you make it, instead of teaching people to become the energetic match, to create a person that allows power and influence and money to come to them, to build yourself into that person, to become the person who's an energetic match to magic, sex, power, surprise, money, magic, money, whatever dreams you have. If we constantly force things and try to make things happen on our timing, the less we trust and have faith that things can just happen for us. We can just allow them without needing to always push. We do need masculine. You got to do things, but you also got to do those things with the identity of, I trust, I have faith, it's going to work, and then it does. But if you have to always force and push and make it happen, that's where you get into the hustle. That's when you get into the burnout. And that's where a lot of people say masculine energy is toxic. It's like, you need both. You need both. And a lot of us, it's soul satisfaction. That feeling of success when you do hard things too is such a powerful feeling in our body. It's good to do masculine energy things. It's good to be disciplined. It also gives us the soul satisfaction that we desire in life. Like, if you do everything in your business and everything in your life and everything to meet your soulmate by, I got to make it, I got to make them love me, I'm going to make them and force them and coax them into things. What happens when you get something that you just did in full masculine is that you push and force things to happen. And in the end, you're going to question, do people really like me for me? Am I actually worthy of this? You're going to worry all the time. When you push and force, that also means you don't believe God, universe supports you. Always wise, Zelina Grayson, you have great insight. That's the 6-2 in me. Thank you. Universe isn't in the room when you have to force. There's got to be allowing. There's got to be faith. There's got to be faith, because if we don't have any faith, if we actually believe that we're on our own and we have to do everything on our own, then the identity that you actually live, if you just live full masculine, is that your identity is, it's me against the world. And that's how we burn out. And that's why people say masculine is toxic. It is so not. Unless all you do is masculine things and you push your way to have something, instead of like that beautiful feminine energetics of like, I do this in my best energy, in the energy of I believe and trust, and then I lean back and I allow. The more faith we have, the more trust we have, the more we are supported by the divine. And listen, like the Bible says, ask and you shall receive. It doesn't say beg. It doesn't say, please, God. You don't beg God. You say, thank you, God. You give thanks. You say, first, thank you, God, universe, for blessing my life and all the blessings I'm about to receive. Thank you, universe. And then you ask, but in the asking, it's like, thank you, God, for you for sending me more clients. Thank you for sending me money to fuel my mission. Thank you, God, for sending me the soulmate. I am ready to receive. Thy will be done. God doesn't respond to begging. Begging is I lack. And if you lack, God thinks that you're not seeing the beauty, the gratitude. You can't build zero. You can't build anything from zero. 0 times 0 is 0. This is why gratitude is so important. This is why I suggest go watch day 1 of the Quantum Leap Masterclass, because we don't beg. We don't say please. We say, God, universe, thank you for everything you've sent to me. And I'm so excited to receive ... Thy will be done. And I will take aligned action, and I support, and I trust that you will come in and support me. Thank you. Like, thank you. And then you wait for, and then you allow the receiving, right? It's like, think about this. I receive an idea from God universe. I create it. I go right into moving into it. I create the offer. I come here. I sell it to you. And then I lean back and I allow, because allowing is trusting the divine timing of the people that are meant to be in my world. I have to allow for people to come in. I allow them to come by. I don't need to make anybody do anything. I allow them to come in my world. I am open to receive. I go first, and then people respond to me. And listen, this is the thing too. This is the other thing in the Bible. And we talked about this in the Quantum Leap Masterclass, but it's in the Bible, guys, that God helps those who help themselves. God can do no more through you than he can do through you. And what this means is it comes back to like, you can't be sitting in lack and not find any ounce of gratitude and be begging God. And this is the issue with most people, is the only time they connect with God is like, God, help me, I need this. Now it's like, now I'm begging God for something on the frequency of lack, but God doesn't respond to the frequency of lack. He responds to the frequency of abundance, because we live in abundance. If you can't find gratitude for one thing and you're begging God, God is just responding to your lack. Lack attracts lack. Need attracts need. It's got to be like, thank you, God. I find something I'm grateful for. And then I say, I'm so open to receiving more on more. Thank you, universe, for this beautiful client. Thank you, God, for all these amazing people that joined my program today. And I'm so excited to receive more. I'm so excited to grow my mission. Thank you. Thy will be done. I don't know what book it was in, but there was like you say thy will be done, so be it, because it's faith. And one of my mentors was saying this the other day that I love, but one of the greatest way to ask for something is in the frequency of you've already received it. But how do we tap into something we don't have? It's like, get yourself in the energy of like, if you're at my house and you ask for a cup of water, when you ask for a cup of water for me, like, can I have some water? You already have the faith and trust. The water's coming. You know, I live in a house, there's water. That's how you got to talk to God. Thank you, God, for blessing my life. I'm so abundant and I'm open to receiving more abundance. And you trust and you speak to God like, I'm handing you water, because there's abundance. Go back into the Quantum Leap Masterclass, or seriously, if you do anything that would be so extraordinary, is learn the prosperity laws. I talk about law of action, law of creation, law of reflection, law of karma, all of those laws, and how to work with frequency in prosperity laws. And you get that if you join Metamorphosis, if you join We Go First, any of my membership. And you can buy it on its own as well. I think it's $444 right now. And get it for $111 that We Go First. If you're in Metamorphosis, you're getting that plus another bonus. But like, we got to go first. You got to ask in the energy of the knowing and the faith that you will receive it, but you allow the timing. And then in your daily human life, you do the work to influence yourself. You tell yourself the stories, you reframe the things that serve you. And when you catch yourself in a limiting story, that's not working for me anymore, and I put it down. And we got to discipline ourselves. But discipline to me is a really beautiful mix of masculine and feminine. As I do, I believe I am changing. It's faith and action. It's like I do it and I believe, and that's what makes it happen. And then I allow for God to come in and support. I allow for the universe to support me. So we do got to take action in order to take law of attraction, an idea, and take it from the quantum field and create it. There needs to be a law of action. But then you lean back and you trust universe. What's the next step? What's the next thing? Or I'm moving to allowing, like, the money, the resources, the things are coming. My intention from this art of becoming is that you really, out of all the identities that I would love for you to work on, is the identity of I trust and I have faith that the things that I desire, the things that I prepare myself in my mind, the things that I'm grateful for, God, universe will continue to provide them for me. When I live really grateful and I trust God, universe will always come in because God, universe provides for me, that identity will create so much magic in your life. I don't know what identity you want to create. We could talk about that in Metamorphosis because you're going to really learn how to lead yourself in there in an extraordinary way. But you could be in a phase right now where I'm figuring it out. If you don't know, or you think about, like, what area do I want to work on? And it's like, I'm becoming the girl, the woman who is creating and building a 7-figure business, who is becoming an extraordinary mentor. I am the woman who is breaking generational paradigms in my family. And you take action and you trust your intuition. So this is an identity and faith that I would love for you guys to take on. Is like, every day I trust God. I'm thankful for my blessings. I'm grateful. I trust the universe always provides. I have not been, like, we are all made of the same magic and miracles. I'm made in the image of God. I have been given the gift of conscious thought, conscious imagination. It's the greatest tool in my creator God-given gifts. I believe, this is an identity of faith. I believe everything happens for me. I believe everything happens for a greater purpose. I believe that when things are hard, I will always be okay. God always provides. Everything that happens is for a greater reason, a greater purpose. I believe it's happening for me. I believe that all the obstacles that I accumulate are coming to a greater purpose. I believe in my mission. I believe in me. I believe in myself. I believe my life has purpose. I trust in the universe. I trust in the laws of the universe. I prepare and focus and imagine in thought what I want to create in my life. I use my mind to create myself instead of destroy myself. I think of beautiful things. I'm grateful. I surrender to the things I can't control, and the aligned action that comes, I take action. I move with faith. I move with intuition. I have trust. I have faith. God supports me. God has my back. I'm grateful for everything in my life. I think this is like, imagine this was your revolving identity. Do you realize the magic you'd create in your life? We don't always have to know the details of what we want. But I believe when you want to live a life that's beautiful and abundant, it's like every day you got to celebrate. You got to be grateful. You got to be working on something. I'm grateful for everything in my life. I give thanks to God. I say, thank you, God, for blessing my life. And thank you for blessing me with more things. I'm open to receiving more clients. I'm open to receiving more money. I'm open, God, to universe. I trust everything has a higher purpose. I even trust the hard things that happen for me are happening for me for a greater purpose. I trust if I do my best and I trust my intuition and I walk with faith and I move with faith instead of fear, I will be compensated greatly. I believe God cuts my paycheck. I believe God fuels my mission. I believe I've been given God creator gifts like every other person on this planet. If she can do it, I can do it. And I will intentionally use my mind and my imagination to prepare myself for the things I want to receive. And when fear comes up, I say, I'm going to be okay. I'm still going to move with faith, and I trust and I allow. Like, this is the vibe. This is the identity that will create so much magic in your life. Anything that you're going for, it has to be like, I trust. It's all happening for a greater purpose. I will compensate. I will do my best. I allow. This is the identity that we need. And you do this identity, and everything you do in the masculine with this identity makes the masculine work. It's not what we do. It's not what we say that makes the people move, that makes things respond to us. It's who we are being. It's that faith. It's that identity and trust and allowing. When you move, you know you'll be provided for. Discipline is faith in action. And you trust as I shift my consciousness, as I plug into people who influence me, I am changing. I am becoming. I am the one. God has my back. I used to have an identity that was constantly stuck in the identity of self-created limitations, I'm not good enough, and an identity of fear. And through that identity, every time we took action from the lens of fear, it's like, of course it didn't work. Of course it didn't work. An identity of fear and limitation sounds like this. What if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't happen for me? I'm not good enough. What if I waste my money? What if I waste my time? What if I don't like me? What if people don't like me? What if people don't get it? What if people leave me? What if I don't get it? What if I'm the only freak of nature that God doesn't support? What if it doesn't work for me? What if I cheat? Everybody gets it except me. What if it's too late for me? What if I'm too old? What if I'm not meant to this? What if it's a waste of time? What if I'm not good enough? What if I make a huge mistake? What if no one enjoys me? What if I look stupid? What if it doesn't work? What if I burn out? What if I'm too old? What if? It's like you're spiraling. You're disempowering yourself, and you're using your God-given creator gift of voice, of imagination, of thought to destroy yourself. But the alternative is if you actually empower yourself and you influence yourself, you're going to be on a different trajectory in life. This call is bringing tears to my eyes. Yes, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. You being an energetic match for your desire, let's talk about something too. If our greatest gift is conscious thought and conscious imagination, like God will support you when you use it to create something, not when you're using it to destroy yourself. This is the thing. The law of focus is very real. What you focus on, you create. And you know this and you've heard this all the time. You focusing on what if it doesn't work? What if I waste my time is you focusing on losing. And if you focus on losing, you lose. If you focus on failing, you fail. If you use your mind to prepare yourself for the worst case scenarios, you will manifest the worst case scenarios because you are using your God-given gift to create, to destroy yourself. We get what we prepare for in our mind, in our thought, in our energy. I spent most of my life preparing myself for the worst case scenarios. And then when they came, I was ready for it because I was ready, because I prepared for it in my mind, in my thoughts. I contemplated all the worst pending situations. I sat and worried and stressed. And what if it doesn't work? I prepared. And then it came because I was ready. I prepared for it. And so it came. We got to shift it. You got to like constantly catch yourself when you're doing this and shift back. And for those of you into human design, your authority, like if you have intuitive splenic hits, if you are a sacral, if you're an emotional authority, it's like God is speaking through you. Like that's God doesn't speak through you in your mind. Your mind is a computer. It's a program. It's a software. It's been programmed. God speaks through us, through our authority, through our body, through our emotions, through the hell yes, oh my God, yes, this like voice that says, hi, Alina, do the thing, start the business. Like that's God speaking through you. What if it doesn't work? What if not? That's all fears. And your fears are something you were programmed with since you were little, based on evidence, based on what people told you. You got to self-empower yourself. 51% of the time that you self-empower yourself, you are changing your subconscious beliefs. You are changing your identity. And your actions have to constantly be in the identity of like, I prepare myself for the best. And you build emotional intelligence. Why Goddess code is important, because you got to also be the kind of person that, yes, when we try new things out, doesn't mean it's always going to work, even if you prepare yourself. It's like there has to be some time trial and error. But guess what? When your identity is, I will figure it out. My identity, I am built for courage. I am built for going through things. I am the phoenix rising in the ashes. I have so many stories, but I will jump into things. I have faith I'll be okay. Part of my identity is I will always figure it out. I will always figure it out because I will always be okay. And for all of you, if you've been through hard things, it led you here. There's a reason. It all serves for a higher purpose. And let yourself be strong that even if I do something and I prepare myself for the best, but I get the opposite, I trust. I'm meant to prove it. I trust this is testing me. I asked for strength. I got a thing to prove my strength. Like, it's okay. Let's go. I'm going to keep trusting. God's got my back. It will work out. The frequency of gratitude is such a great place to start. It all goes from there. Yes, we can't build. This is why it says in the Bible, God can't help you if you can't help yourself. If you can't see any abundance, any beauty, if you can't see that you have resources, how can God come in? If you're in lack, the universe responds to your lack. Gratitude is the bridge to more, to possibility. And here's the thing about like fear and faith, because a lot of us, you're making decisions in fear. What if it doesn't work? What if I'm the only person that doesn't get this program? What if I waste my money? Da, 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 da. That's fear. And the difference, the frequencies are very similar, faith and fear. They're very similar. One is, what if it works? And one is, what if it doesn't? Let's trust that it will work. That's trust that there is no other reason than me desiring this thing. If I wasn't meant to do it, I wouldn't desire it. I don't believe we just desire things if we weren't meant to have it. If you desire to be in my world, you're meant to be in my world. If you desire to build a 7-figure business, you're meant to do it. You have the gifts and power, but you gotta shift your identity. You gotta walk with faith and stop responding to fear, because what if it works? But what if it does? Because anything is possible, because she did and she did and she did it. When we understand also like the power of our stories, our beliefs, and the understanding that what I focus on, what I prepare my mind in, I will create. If you focus on it not working and all you do is prepare yourself for stress and worst case scenarios, you're preparing yourself and you're going to receive it because you're ready. That's how it works. But your beliefs, what you believe you're capable of, the stories you're spinning, they're all part of your identity. And this is why I said from day one, like the hardest thing right now is to change the reflection of that you have of yourself. Like it starts with really like, I matter. I was put on this earth for a reason. Like the odds that we're all here were miracles, were magic. You are worthy. You have to consciously self-empower yourself every day. You got to see yourself in a different place. Your self-concept, who you believe you are, has to change. And when it starts to change, when you start saying to yourself, I am worthy, I am becoming, I am changing, I am influencing myself, I'm thinking higher vibrational thoughts, I trust God's got my back, your self-concept will change, your reflection will start to change. And then how you interact with the world changes, and how people respond to you changes. Because when you change your self-concept, you change your frequency. And it's like everything starts to happen. And the way that you take action changes. Like, think about this. This is why I say, if you don't have faith in the action you take, this is why sometimes you'll do something, but you don't believe it's working and it's not changing you. And that's why you're receiving that. The placebo effect is a real thing, guys. It's like why so many people can take a sugar pill and someone tells them this will work and they believe it as they do it and it changes them. It's sugar, but it's the belief and knowing that it's working. It's the allowing. It's the feminine. And the law of gender is important because we need balance. You need to do things and you need to also lean back and allow the receiving. And as you shift your stories and you have more trust and belief in yourself, you believe you're supported. Oh, everything starts to change. Everything. Yesterday, we talked about frequencies. And so here's another code that I want to leave with you guys. If we're talking about being an energetic match, we have to think the way, like if my success is inevitable, I believe it. You got to think that way. But we also want to be feeling the frequencies that we would feel as if we already had it, right? So if we think about this, like if we want more money, more freedom, more romance, more love in our future, more on top of more, then we have to remember that we have to start tapping into those frequencies now in order to bridge into those frequencies, right? So think about this. Everything we desire, they're on higher, lighter frequencies. They're frequencies of, oh my God, I'm happy. I'm so grateful. This is amazing. Celebrating, love, romance, right? So if you desire to have more of those frequencies, you got to start embodying those frequencies now. You got to start imagining like more money coming in. You got to start imagining more freedom. You got to start being so grateful for everything in your life, because the gratitude frequency is the only frequency that taps into more. And so think about this too. Like if we want to create a life of more satisfaction, success, celebration, more excitement, more gratitude, like you got to start being a person that's like, I celebrate myself all the time, even for little wins. I find things to be excited about. I feel satisfaction, more love for my life, more faith. That's an energetic match to what you want. So you got to entangle daily with the frequencies that you also want. If you dwell in the frequencies of hell on earth, self-deprecation, no one likes me, everything's hard, I'm Eeyore. If you're in the hell on earth frequencies, like how could you possibly bridge into heaven, into more, into possibility, into magic and miracles? You attract the frequency that you dwell in the most. And if your identity is in the frequency of worry, worst case scenario, what if it doesn't work, self-deprecation, you're a match for more of that. An identity based in fear is an energetic match too. hell on earth, in my opinion. But an identity based in faith, and I use gratitude, and I trust God provides. I'm created just like you. If she can do it, I can do it. I have not been cast out of God's got my back, just like He has everybody's back. That's the bridge into more. You have to experience heaven on earth in order to bridge into more heaven. That's the way. We bridge into possibilities and magic by tapping into frequencies here. And so think about this. When you speak horrible things to yourself, when you look at yourself and you say you're ugly and I'm stupid and I'm not enough, how does that make you feel? Horrible. You're literally creating your own hell on earth. And then you're trying to script manifest entering heaven, but experiencing hell on earth. And God and universe is only responding to the frequency that you're dwelling in. It just makes no sense. It's like you've got to be also loving your life where you are now and being so excited and allowing that more is going to come. Because if I continue to act in alignment with my dreams in faith, and I constantly be grateful for my life and all the things in my words, my thoughts are like, I love you, thank you, God, yes, universe, yes, thank you. Most of that is your conversations, 51%. Like, you're a magnet for more of those frequencies in the future. Does this make sense? And so this is what I want to ask. Like, what do you want to do next? Like, you get to just right now work on, like, I just need to do identity work. I just need to completely reshape my mind. I need to learn how to lead myself. I need to learn personal power. And then learning how to I start shifting into identities I want. I'm going to do metamorphosis. Or I'm just going to honestly work on myself right now. And I'm going to be in the phase of I'm figuring it out. But I'm just going to work on constantly catching myself and reframing and reframing. And I'm in the era of figuring it out and trying something new, because that's what we get to do for the rest of our life, is try on different identities. And if you are, maybe you're like, I want to be a business owner. So now you're becoming is I'm going to be in the era of becoming an entrepreneur. So what's my next action step? I'm going to start posting on social media. I'm going to start showing up. I'm going to start just talking about the things that light me up right now to start. And I'm going to maybe join Alina's sales program, or I'm going to do Metamorphosis. Like, you got to have an action. And then really, like, this is the biggest thing about shifting our identities. Personally, my brand stands, I want you to have it all. I want you to love everything you build. I want you to have purpose, fulfillment, joy, satisfaction. I want you to be wealthy. I want you to have more time freedom. I want you to be madly in love. I want you to love your body. I want you to be healthy. I create programs on everything. I want you to have the impact. I want you to have it all. And I want to be the person that gets to influence you, whether that's in the We Go First membership, $111, whether you come into Metamorphosis and we shift massive things in your life. This is the thing with Metamorphosis. Identity work is not that hard. And I teach you the foundations to do it so you can do it on anything that you want to become. But the hardest thing is what we realized is like getting yourself to do it, like learning the art of leading yourself. I'm going to teach you to lead yourself in a way you've never heard. I'm going to help you build an identity like that you love. We're going to have mastermind calls. It's going to be modules you're going to learn, and then you're going to do mastermind calls with me, and we're going to untangle everything. We're going to do this every day. We're going to rewire your thinking. The things you do, you end up becoming. Find people who influence you. If you don't want to move with me, who are the people that activate you? Who are the people that make you think different, make you feel different, who make you feel more powerful about yourself? Plug into those. That's why I plugged into Abraham Hicks and Tony Robbins and like motivational music, anything that lit me up. You got to everyday rewire your mind, because the things you do end up becoming who you are. I'm so aligned with this program. It's only day 2. I'm really determined to do more work with you. I'm so happy. But you got to go first. What's your next move? Right now, I'm just going to focus on 51% of my day plugging into motivational things and constantly interrupting my thoughts so I can change my story. Perfect. My next move is I'm going to do We Go First with Alina, or I'm going to do the Metamorphosis. My next step is I'm launching the business. I'm going to start showing up. It says in the Bible, God helps those who help themselves. You can't just be begging and sitting there and doing nothing. You got to do masculine energy things with the identity of I believe I'm changing. I believe I'm becoming. We go first and everything responds to us. Like, you are the youngest you'll ever be. The time to change is now. The universe mirrors your energy. This is my other thing. You want hyperspeed growth, hyperspeed transformation. When you get intuitive hits, when you get a sacral hell yes, 3, 2, 1, go do it. If you get an idea to do something, go do it, go launch it, go create it, because the universe is mirroring your energy. When we're slow to decide, to make moves, God responds to your waiting energy. So I hope that you move with faith. I hope to see you in Metamorphosis. I'm going to do the draw. Some of you want to have half off. Some of you will win. We go first. You'll be in a year with me. Everything. Like, you got to make some moves in your life. You got to start making things. And so I want to announce the thing, the code, the thing I just decided to do before this call. This is an intuition. This is what I mean. I'm in the shower and it's like, tell this thing. God says, and I say, okay, God, I'm doing it. And I trust the people are going to jump in. So I'm going to do a 1-day code, a transmission. I don't know how many hours. I'm going to say at least 2 hours. I'm going to be sharing with you guys one of my greatest manifestation hacks, processes, energetics. It's extraordinary. It is, I believe, the fastest way we manifest and shift. And it's called Shapeshifter. So if you're in Metamorphosis, this will be your bonus. If you're in the We Go First membership, any of my membership, you already get this. If you are like, I can't do anything right now, do this thing. It's $33.33. I don't know, just 333s, me and the angel members. It's going to happen on January the 23rd, the day after we start Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis starts next Wednesday, the 22nd, opening call. Next day, I'm going to be leading a transmission called Shapeshifter, and I'm going to blow your socks off with what I do that I know works, and it's extraordinary, and it's based on energetics. It's called Shapeshifter, and we're going to do some shape shifting. We're going to do some identity work. It's one of my greatest manifestation hacks. It's $33, and I'm only going to post it in the group. So I'll post it here, or you can DM me link, but I'm not going to post it anywhere else. If you're already in my memberships or Metamorphosis, this is your bonus, but just make some sort of moves. Like, whether it's me or anybody, make some moves. Make it like you're the youngest you'll ever be. You're meant to evolve. If you landed in this group, do something about it. Influence yourself, empower yourself. And I'd love to see what's possible. Mentors such as yourself that activate me so much. I'm so happy. Yeah, it is important we find people who shift us. Stuff that I say, like, yeah, some of you are like, whoa, I never heard it. But the thing is, the things I'm saying, you've heard. There are just people. This is why I believe there's so many coaches and mentors needed and activators, because we can all say the same thing, but the way we say it in our energy and the way we describe it through our story, through our filter, it's like the difference of you hearing something and it finally lands. If I help you have breakthroughs, I'm probably one of your activators. And I do believe I have a very part of my design, but I'm here to empower you at a hyper speed. Like you tap into my life, into my world, I will empower you at hyper speed. So I'm going to take a moment to talk about the different offers and programs, and if there's confusion. So the first thing I want to start is like the inner circle. Inner circle, you get everything. You get the We Go First membership, you get everything, all the live programs, all the live masterminds in inner circle. It's $4,444. Pay in full. Unless you're a private client, you get in that for a year. It's pay in full, or you pay $377 monthly, and it's a 1-year commitment. The other membership I have is the We Go First membership. This is smaller programs, smaller codes, but sometimes I just feel like doing a program. Like I did the Prosperity Laws program. It was 8 modules with a mastermind. And you pay $111 a month, pay as you go, know your commitment. So you can come, stop, pause, go, whenever you want. The moment you enter the membership, there's a guide section with already different programs, cracking money codes, a body code, different master classes that I've done that I took off the internet. There's all kinds of things in there. There's collapsing time, there's the overflow, there's prosperity laws, $111. When you're in my membership, you automatically also get discounts to programs. Well, unless you're in inner circles, you get everything. So if you're in We Go First and you wanted to save half off Metamorphosis, there's a link in there that's locked in for $444. The program is going up to $1,111 on the 18th, Metamorphosis, because this is a huge body of work. This is a program plus a mastermind. Like, you get to come and actually listen to people, get hot seat coaching. We untangle things. It will give you breakthroughs. Plus, you get to ask me questions. You get to come up. There'll be Q&A thread. There'll be a module, then a mastermind call, a module, and then a mastermind call. It's going to be out of this world. I don't give all the details, like, because for me, I'm a sacral. Like, when I'm activated and I know what's right for me, I move with faith and it always works out. I don't need details. I don't read landing pages. I create the landing pages for my one lines, but even all my one line clients are like, I'm just in, I don't care. Let's go. Let's do it. That's you trusting faith, and God talks to you through your authority. So we go first is $111. New courses, codes, programs once a month, whatever I decide to create, usually a context for whatever I'm in. Inner Circle, you get it all, or you can buy programs separately. So right now, Metamorphosis on its own is $888. Lifetime access, you also get self-empowered, shapeshifter, and you get the prosperity laws if you wanted to buy that on its own. And then now I've downloaded the shapeshifter. There's going to be a 1-day code, couple hours of me teaching you my most powerful manifestation hack, something that I've been doing forever. And it's going to be extraordinary. It's full of energetics. It's like becoming the energetic match on hyperspeed. And for those of you in Metamorphosis, we go first, or Inner Circle, that's automatic. So if you wanted to start with that, it's $33. I'll put a link after I get off here. January 22nd. If you can't make the live, don't worry about it. There will be a replay. It's lifetime access. Okay. Shapeshifter, call in a Zoom call where we can ask questions. No, this is going to be a full-on transmission, but after I will leave space for Q&A. This has got to be a transmission because this is a code. And so I need to teach this. I'm going to teach you the energetics. I'm going to give you the mind, the energy, everything that you need to do for this to work. But then after it, Megan, I will open up whatever time we need. I always leave like an hour for any Q&A and any deepening. And if I have to book another call to do a Zoom call, there's a lot of questions, but I don't think you will, because I'm going to take you through it with me and it will land. So it's called Shapeshifter, and it's $33.33 lifetime access, January 23rd, the day after we open Metamorphosis. So if you have any questions, DM me. Tomorrow we're going to do the draw, and I'm so excited. So I'm just going to figure out timing, because I have an appointment tomorrow to get some acupuncture, and I have Cairo. And once I come back, I want to go live, and I think it's an hour. So I'm thinking 10:30, 11 o'clock. I'll be live in the group. We'll do the draw. I'll answer any other questions. And that is it. I hope you have loved this masterclass. The thing I would suggest that would be so powerful, that will like make everything I talked about even deepen with you and give you actual more tangible things to work on, is I did a masterclass called The Story about 3-4 months ago. It's 3 days. It's out of this world. It's on my YouTube channel. And the other one would be Go Do Quantum Leap, because that is another whole, like, let's go down the rabbit hole of why gratitude is important and what it says in the Bible and how it like aligns with spirituality. So those are really important, powerful master classes to do. Thank you again for being here with me. Thank you, everybody who shared. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for adding people to the group. Thank you for tagging people. Thank you for your beautiful energy. I love you. This wraps up the first masterclass of 2025. I'm excited to see what I channel for the next one, but there will be more, and there'll be more opportunities to intuition, credits, and all the things. But thank you from the bottom of my heart. Go back and re-listen. Start doing this work. We get to have everything we've ever wanted, but you gotta discipline yourself to think differently. You gotta influence yourself to think differently. And what's going to be really important too, why plugging into places that empower us, is that if you feel like you are surrounded by a lot of people that think limiting things, that remind you of lack and scarcity in the world, it's even more pivotal for you to, like, every day, I got to plug into Alina's YouTube channel or Tony Robbins or listen to something, because people influence us more than you think. And if you think about this, the conversations we have, a lot of our interactions, our thinking are through the interactions we have with people. And if the people you surround yourself with and all the conversations you're having and the entanglement of the things you're talking about, gossip, whatever it is, you are also letting people influence you. Find people who influence you, who expand you, who make you think higher vibrational thoughts, who make you self-empower yourself. Everybody has mentors. The greatest people that walk this earth have mentors. Everybody needs someone to activate them, to influence them. When's the drawing? Tomorrow, either 10:30 or 11. I'm going to put I'm going to put an event. If you can't come, it's okay. But I will tell you the cutoff to share the graphics to be entered into these draws, because there'll be 2 draws, is tomorrow at 9 a.m. And then my VA will have time to get me all the names so I can pick them out of the jar. Oops. And see who wins. Thank you so much. I love you. And whether you want to be in the draw or not, if you know somebody needs to listen to this conversation, bring them into the group, tag them, send them to my YouTube channel. I would be so grateful. Let's spread the mission. Let's build out Alina's broadcast channel. I love you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. I will see some of you live tomorrow. And if not, I hopefully will see you in one of my coaching containers or the next masterclass. This wraps up the Art of Becoming. I love you so much.